What does it mean if SSH hangs after connection established? I use a Google Cloud VM and every once in a while I switch back to my terminal and see my SSH session has frozen. When I then try to reconnect, it shows this. So it appears a connection is established, but nothing else happens and I need to restart the VM. What does this mean? I should note that I can ping the host with no problem, so it's not frozen or anything.
When a client connects to an SSH server, the server starts the SSH protocol by sending a server version string in plain text to the client. With the OpenSSH utility, the relevant debug lines look like this. After the local version line, your client is waiting for the server to send its version string to the client. If the connection hangs here, it's because the client hasn't received the version string from the server. In general, there are several things that could cause this. The client has connected to something that's not an SSH server. For example, an HTTP server wouldn't send anything to the client, because the HTTP protocol expects the client to send the first data. The server is malfunctioning. For example, the server might be overloaded, and the SSH server process isn't getting a chance to run. The server is hung somehow. It might be stuck doing a DNS query on the client's IP address, for example. Some network device is interfering with the TCP connection. In your case, you're connecting to port 22, so it's safe to assume you're connecting to an SSH server process. It seems likely you're suffering from number 2, the server is malfunctioning, but it's not possible to say exactly what is wrong beyond that. You would need to get into the server and figure out what was happening at the time which prevented it from processing SSH connections.
It's great explanation by Atkinster. I would like to add exact things that you can check. My response is not cloud focused, but it could give some ideas in cloud too. The line, debug 1 column remote protocol version 2.0, remote software version opensh_7.6, is response from server which is missing. So it could mean that server failed to deliver this packet to client over the network. What you can use is, dump by any host IP_address_ here, to trace it down if you are hosting SSH service. In my case it was, git clone, failing, I host SSH git service. Additionally, you can simplify this to, nchost.domain22, and run this on different devices, even SSH server. It should usually print SSH server version when it works. In my case, it worked on some machines, but not all. It was networking issue, related to configuration/filtering.
If you want to support the channel, please consider subscribing.